Do you usually drive with one hand or two hands on the wheel?
One hand?
Do you have a slight lean? Are you a leaner? Do you like try to be cool when you're driving? One hand and lean?
Yeah, so I definitely lean in towards the console.
Okay, could you just demonstrate what you think would be your normal level of lean? Oh, that's a little bit too much lean, to be honest with you. My lean is a little bit, it's slight. But I have a stick shift, so I have a reason to have my hand over there on the stick shift or whatever you call it for you people who can't drive sticks.
You like driving stick? Does it make you feel...
I do, actually. I love to have a hard stick in my hand. Really love to grab the shaft, stroke it up and
Makes
down.
sense. Makes complete
much as I
sense.
can. Okay, I think you have too much of a lean, but when will you put two hands on the wheel? Like, is that serious? Like, if you put two hands, are you getting serious?
Anytime I'm in traffic, I'm a pretty nervous driver when it comes to parking lots in any kind of traffic for the most part.
Oh, I'll rock one hand all the way up until I'm pulling into the parking space. I'm not afraid of traffic.
I wouldn't say I'm afraid of traffic, but, merging on and off the highway. If it's like a busy time of the day or whenever, and the highways, if there's a lot of traffic on the highway, I'll use two hands.
Now, see, I won't use two hands for traffic, but if the weather gets dicey, if the weather gets bad, I'll put two hands up there. Like, I should probably have two hands on this right now.
I actually don't... the weather doesn't really... It's more traffic for me than anything. Like, I can't... There are times, obviously, with snow and ice where you just have to go two-handed. But I don't recall a moment where I'm like, man, I have to go two-handed because of the weather.
Okay.
But I'll be like, man, traffic's slow today. I'm going to make sure to have my full vision and attention on everyone else so I don't run into somebody. Listen, can we talk about how, for the last week, I basically have been following my wife's mood swings like she's actually Hurricane Melissa. Because my wife's name is Melissa. So throughout the last week, I'll be like, yep, you're Cat 1 today. Can't wait to see what Cat 2's like later tonight.
God, dude, like, you've been married for how long?
Going to be 10 years next year already.
Right, and you wonder why your wife gets upset when you're airing out her business like that. Like, yeah, of course she's going to be angry with you. It sounds like she's the one who's in the right. I don't care how mad my wife is. There's not going to be a single person who knows about it.
It's more of a joke than... listen, Hurricane Melissa is not a joke. And I'm not trying to say that by any means, but it was kind of funny this week when my wife would get angry and I would just be like, oh, there's the rain. When's the wind coming?
Okay, that is... that's very funny. Like, I have a secret name for my wife that's not anything, but, like, I wouldn't share it with other people. What do you call your wife? What do you call your wife again? What's your nickname?
What do you call your wife?
Dawn.
Sure. Well, I call my wife Melissa.
That's not what it is. Either you can say it or I can say it.
You don't remember it.
It's either like, you guys call each other hubby and wubby? Hubs and bubs? What do you call each other, you giant pansy?
You're close. You're close.
Boogie and woogie?
Boy, no, that would be pretty fantastic.
What is it? Just tell me what it is. Tell me.
Hey, what do you think of my basement behind me?
Wubba. Is it Wubba and Bubba?
It was Wubba and Hubba, but as we've gotten older, those names have kind of gone away. So
that's because every married man is secretly a pansy. Every good married man is secretly a pansy who's like, oh no, I do love my wife. Like, they're soft, they're cuddly.
I more or less think that we just you get married and you gain a certain level of just smart about you. Like, not to push buttons at certain times. I don't think you become a pansy. You learn to live with someone of the opposite sex and not have it be terrible all the time.
I agree. Probably shouldn't be referred to, but that is funny, like saying Category 3, Melissa. That is, I mean...
It was fucking hilarious. Don't say it isn't.
It is funny. I just don't think that, like, you know, you gotta keep that private.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's out of some of the things that we've said on here that I've said on here when we literally talked about my parents when I was like 8. Okay.
Oh, you mean when you saw them having sex? When you saw your mom and dad having sex?
Yeah, I don't think. How
old were you when you saw your mom and dad having sex?
7 or 8. I mean, I don't remember the exact age. I just remember it's burned in my brain for the rest of my life.
What did you think that they were doing? Did you know they're like, oh, my mom and dad are having sex? Or did you think they were doing something else?
I don't want to go down this road. I don't know, man. It's not like
did anyone make eye contact? Did they make eye contact when they saw you?
Anyways, are we ready for shout-outs? Can we move on?
Did they stop?
Did they stop? I hope they would have stopped, but they didn't. Anyways, can we give some shout-outs? I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do anything. We could talk about anything. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Okay.
All right. Here are some shout-outs for you this week. Grant Blankenship, Sergio Barnett, Emma Palmer, Beth Mullins, Ricardo Riccone, Dwight Bridges, Beth Fisher, Johnny Robinson, Willis Lynn. You're just waiting for me to get done so you have some smart-ass thing to say.
I don't have anything to say.
For those that you can't, Nick just has his face like he's getting ready to say something.
Just watching you, just letting you do your thing, man. I'm just enjoying the process. Just giving love to all the people you're shouting out right now. That's all I'm doing.
Cheyenne Whitfield and Vivian Barton. Appreciate all of you.
Are you finished?
I am finished.
Because your dad probably finished inside your mom.
I hope everyone else went through that with me because I knew it. I just knew you were waiting for that.
I never saw my parents.
Good. And I don't want to have this conversation
What
anymore.
Percentage of people do you think have seen their parents having sex? Like, do you think that other people share your pain, or do you think you're alone?
No, I think it's much more common than you think.
I could go 10 to 25%.
I mean, I would probably go between 25 and 40%.
I just remember one time where my dad really wanted me to, like, hey, go to sleep. You should go to sleep. You better go to sleep quick. I was like, why does he want me to go to sleep so much?
Yeah.
And then later I was like, oh.
Well, okay. Anyways, like I said, I don't really want to talk about this anymore.
You wanted the lucky 10? I'm going to go 25%. I'm going to go 25%.
I'm going to go 4 out of every 10 people have witnessed that, I think.
Okay.
Let's see here. There wasn't a whole lot of positive things to talk about this week.
There's nothing positive going on in the world.
I legit spent 20 minutes today just trying to find little random fun nuggets to talk about, and it's all just negative. I mean, we can talk about how the President of the United States just had the East Wing demolished, and no one knows anything about that. That seems like a good idea. Or about how Amazon just laid off 30,000 corporate employees that they're going to replace with AI. That's positive.
I don't see how, I don't understand this thing with AI. Because, who's going to buy your stuff if nobody has a job? I just don't understand what the end game is here. What are we trying to do? We're going to replace all the workers with AI, and then who's going to buy your product if nobody has money?
I mean, and listen, there's people smarter than us that are running these companies, right? They know.
Oh, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think that is one of the biggest things that I learned growing up in the real world, corporate America, so to speak. People aren't smarter than you. They're really not. You would like to think that people who make decisions and are in leadership positions are smarter than you or more experienced than you or have some kind of perspective that you don't have, but they don't. They're not really any different. They're just in the room.
I mean, that's half of it as I get older, and probably a lot of our audience has felt this. It's just, you're just there, right? It doesn't mean that you're smarter or better or even more qualified. You're just there for whatever reason. Anyways, the AI thing, I feel like it's all a money thing, right? But you're right, you lay off people. But, I mean, not to be Mr. Doomsday Central here, but at some point we're going to have the bubble burst. Like, we've been saying that now since the pandemic, but it has to burst. I don't know how. I mean, if you're trying to buy a house with no equity, I don't know how anyone can afford it. It's insane.
Oh, yeah, like eventually at some point this all comes crashing down.
It's just like what's the rock that falls off the tower, so to speak. I think that's what everyone's waiting for, but nobody seems to know what that is.
I think it'll be the thing that nobody ever predicts. That seems to be the way that it always happens. And then we'll all look back and be like, wow, we really shouldn't have done any of this. And because I was a history major in college, and you would read about history, and you would always wonder, like, how did they make this clearly stupid decision? Like, how did they make these clearly glaring mistakes? And then you live in the present, you're like, oh, we did it again. And we do it again. I will go back to this, though. So I polled the audience about driving with one or two hands on the wheel. 70% of people say mostly one hand. 20% say mostly two hands. 10% say 50-50. I would make a strong argument that even though it's the better way that you're supposed to drive with two hands, people who drive with two hands are probably worse drivers. They're the kind of people that don't get in accidents, but they've caused a number of them.
I mean, I don't know about that. I will die on this hill that the worst kind of drivers are those who shouldn't be behind the wheel because of their age, and anyone in a pickup truck. That's what I'll die on.
Oh, yeah, pickup trucks are bad drivers. Bad drivers because they're overconfident in their ability. Overconfidence.
Do you care at all about Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry?
I mean, I think it's odd, but you find happiness where you find happiness. Like, that's an odd pairing.
Like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce to me. Like, I just don't. It just shouldn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why they feel like those. Like, I don't think that anybody really thinks that Kelce and Taylor Swift are going to be married for a long time. Like, not really. Or seem like each other's type. Unless the type is just like, hey, let's just get married and get as much attention as we can and have a deal on the side.
I mean, neither of them need it, right? I mean, neither of them need the fame or the money. Billionaires don't need
more money, but they still want it. Like some people, I think that people who pursue fame, not someone who tries to be really good at their craft, but somebody who pursues fame, that's just a black hole that you'll never fill. Like, they'll never have enough attention. Never.
Wow, you should put that on a trading card. That was pretty good.
Oh, are you going to hand out baseball cards at Halloween? Is that still your idea that's going to make everybody in the neighborhood hate you?
Yeah. Have you seen the price of chocolate?
Are baseball cards cheaper than chocolate?
Probably not, but I have plenty from... I'm not talking about giving out...
Oh, you're going to hand out your old crap? So you're not even going to buy new baseball cards. You're just going to get rid of crap.
Yeah, I'm not handing out, like, new cards. These are from, like, 1989 Fleer. You know?
Oh, God. So you're just going to give some little kid... You're just basically going to use this to get rid of garbage.
And I won't even be handing out the cards, so what do I care?
Who's going to hand out the cards?
My father-in-law, apparently.
You know what? I passed. So to make this story really quick to get John on his soapbox, John's father-in-law likes to put up a lot of inflatables outside of his house. And I think the number was close to 20 or 30 at one time. Was that correct?
Yeah, I forget. I think there was 24 or 5 one year, I think.
I saw a house with like maybe 20 inflatables outside of it, and it looked ridiculous. Like, your house must have looked like a goddamn circus.
Well, that will no longer happen because he is physically unable to perform.
Would you rather see him having sex or your father having sex? You can see your father or your father-in-law. Which one are you gonna choose?
That one I'm not answering because I'd rather have my eyes gouged out with a spoon.
What if they were having sex with each other?
Once again, that is things that literal nightmares are made of.
Who would you rather see having sex? Your father and father-in-law or mother and mother-in-law with each other?
Jesus Christ. I don't want to discuss this or even think about that. And I hope our viewership has turned off our podcast.
We will now. Just imagine you're...
No, you brought this up. Listen, I want it to be known that I made my second professional wrestling appearance this past Saturday.
Oh, is that what they're calling it now?
And I actually took a bump or two. And,
ooh, let's hear it. Let's hear it. You didn't get injured. I can't believe it.
No, you know what? I'm sure that it's because I'm an outsider, but the group of guys and gals that I am part of, their wrestling organization, they're like, listen, I'm going to protect you. And I took a pretty nasty punch, or at least it looked that way on tape. But I got hit in like the shoulder, like it wasn't nowhere near my face. It's all acting, and I did a pretty good job. So,
on a scale of 1 to 5, it's real to me. Damn it! What would you give your performance?
A 5. I was fantastic.
Whoa, that's.
I got to tell you,
do you have a link? Do you have a link we can put in the episode so that people can watch?
It should be up by then. Yeah, I will send it to you if I find it. I love it, man. I love entertaining. I love acting. Like it's awesome. I love that. It does
seem fun.
Like because I get to be somebody else in. I get to be a bad guy. Which, if you know me, I'm like the opposite of a bad guy in real life. I'm this giant teddy bear that looks like I eat Snickers and drink Gatorade every day. Like. I'm not sure why that makes me.
I don't know exactly what somebody like. I can't really picture in my head. Like, man, that guy looks like he eats Snickers and drinks Gatorade every day.
I actually don't even eat Snickers.
I noticed that I do. I can see you're a little more confident, right? Like you're swooping the hair more in like a stylish way. You're out of the dad thing, right? You're moving at like you got a little bit more confidence in yourself. You're moving out of the dad thing.
I started going to like this gym, like where they have classes. So like I'm feeling kind of good. I'm gonna get hopefully nice and strong again. And
wait a minute, are you doing like aerobics? You out there in a dance Zumba class?
Dude, I would. God, I would. I'm not even kidding. If I could just do dance aerobics or whatever they're called, I would do them. I mean, who doesn't love to dance? I would just love to do that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. First of all, I wouldn't do that. But there is a Saturday morning gym class, the Zumba class at my gym that I go to that, like, man, that does look pretty fun. Like, just, woo!
Yeah, it's...
Okay.
Anyways, it's... By next summer, I'm gonna be on Andro and Hydroxycut.
Will you just roid out? Will you just roid out? Just roid out.
My heart would probably explode, to be honest.
Oh yeah, you're not going to make it through like heavy doses of that.
Like
you don't have the heart for it. Like the guy's not. You're the kind of guy that like the dealer. Like, no man, I'm not selling you this. Like, I'm not selling this to you, buddy.
All right, real fast because you made me think of that. How crazy is that Chauncey Billups illegal gambling ring that they busted? That, hey, just to give the audience just like 10 seconds. Chauncey Billups, Detroit Piston Hall of Famer, one of the greatest ever. Basically the middleman for the mafia to bring in rich people to these poker games, and then they would cheat by using X-ray tables and like glasses where you could see the cards. It was pretty high-level stuff.
I'm just not surprised. I find, to me, my first reaction to it was like, how are My first reaction to it was like, oh, let's see how big of hypocrites all these people on TV are. Because they're talking about this thing like it's so bad. Meanwhile, we're sponsored by FanDuel and ESPN Bet. Like, what are you really saying? Like, oh, this guy is terrible because he was gambling. Pull down the bug that says that we're sponsored by, like, MGM Grand. Gambling has taken over sports. Has absolutely taken over sports.
I mean, I wouldn't say it just has now. I do think it for sure has now, just because of the access that everybody can have. And I don't know how any major sports organization can combat it. Like, because literally all you have to... I could... This whole episode, I could have been sports betting with you. Like, it's that easy.
That's my thing is, like, don't clutch your pearls then afterwards, right? Like Chauncey Billups, just major story. I can't believe the corruption. Like,
I mean,
it is big. I think that's the only problem that really anybody has with it was the idea. It wasn't that they were gambling. It was the idea that they were cheating. That's really only anything cares about is they're cheating at it.
Well, and I think of him as a person. And, I mean, you are now caught in between all these rich people that you've effed over, and they kept saying the 5 families of the mafia, which I didn't even know there were still 5 families of the mafia, but I guess there are. Like, that's a really dangerous place to be in if you're Chauncey Billups.
Oh yeah, I wonder what they had to be doing to find himself in that situation. I haven't seen a thing though if they said that he was he actively participating in it, or is it kind of could be completely here wrong. But if I remember right, like the Gilbert Arenas thing, who was another former basketball player that got busted for something along the lines of gambling, but it was really just like a house that he owned. He wasn't really there. It was just, but I don't know if Billups was actually involved in it or was like involving him, and it was like he was just happened to be there at the game. And did he know about it? I guess is the thing.
I mean, he was a head coach, and I think there's 2 things with him, which is what makes it so intriguing. One was the cheating on the games, then the second was him, like, legitimately being the middleman. You know, for, hey, bring in Mark Cuban to spend $5 million on a game, knowing that, like, you know, Mark Cuban was going to lose all his money to whoever he was playing against.
It's interesting. It's fascinating. I just don't feel like from a moral perspective that they're so bad when we're all kind of guilty of it. They just got caught.
I mean, listen, if you could tell me that I could cheat and win, I mean, I'd probably consider it. So.
Well, that's the thing, too. Like, right, these people were arrested for doing the thing that a lot of people would probably do if they thought they could do it.
Like, if you were to hand me a pair of X-ray glasses, no one's turning that down. Nobody. No one is turning those down. Nobody.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the thing that I have with it is that people kind of being hypocrites about it and acting like they did something so morally wrong. Which, I mean, really the thing that they did was cheating, but like you would have cheated too if you could have. Right?
I wouldn't even think twice about it. But I don't have to worry about that because no one's coming to me with a pair of X-ray glasses asking me to win $10 million. So
yet. Gambling doesn't appeal to me. I can't handle the stress. $5 is about the most I'm willing to wager. I can't handle it.
I will say I've been in Vegas with Choice with you. At least once. For sure.
Once,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, you were more of a sit back and talk to other people and have them waste their money trying to get their room comped.
Oh yeah. God, he didn't get his room comp. Friend of ours went on roulette and got all the way up to $800, which is a lot at the time, and then lost it all. He didn't get his room comped, even though he screamed it 15 times. Anyway, you got anything else, or are you ready?
Let's go. Let's do it.
So our top 5 was a listener suggestion. Top 5 ways to refer to a party. It's your number 5.
Does this listener have a name?
No.
Oh.
Anonymous suggestion.
Can I call them Charles?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thanks, Charles. Appreciate you. My number 5 is I'm going to go with probably the most formal of suggestions, and I like this title. I've always loved this title, and that is just a black tie affair.
Oh, okay, all right. That's what I would call like a field party. I would use it like reverse psychology.
No, I've always liked the black tie affair. You know, you're getting dressed up. It's going to be a good, nice time.
I've always liked a good sausage fest. Anytime I hear a party being referred to as a sausage fest, I just laugh. It's just a perfect description of what's happening there. You hear somebody say sausage fest, you know exactly what a party looks like.
That's a really good one.
You never heard sausage fest?
Yeah, of course. I mean, never to like. Yeah, I have. I've been at a few sausage fests. I get you.
It's just hilarious to me. It was a sausage fest. Like, oh yeah,
it would. Man, my list is going to be pretty boring, I think, compared to yours. Now looking at it.
Okay.
My number 4 is just to hang out. Just hanging out. Just getting together and having a few brews with the old buds, hanging out.
Okay. That's pretty boring.
I'm gonna hide my face.
You want to hang out? My number 4 is a shindig. I love saying the word shindig.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never ever said, "Hey, let's get together and have a shindig, man."
You said, let's hang out. Like, you don't really say anything. Like, I would never be like, "Hey, man, you want to hang out? Like, you want to come over?"
Yeah.
Come over to my sausage fest.
Want to come to my...
It's your number 3.
The wing ding. You ever heard of a wing ding?
No.
Let's go. Come on over, man. Let's have a wing ding. True story.
Yeah,
I actually said that once, and only one person showed up out of the 5 I invited.
Yeah, that was the appropriate response. I have more respect for those people than I do for you.
Wing ding.
My number 3 is a kegger. A kegger?
Oh.
That is 18 to 23-year-old when you went to a kegger.
So I have that combined with a toga party as my number 2, because they're both like college parties.
At what age can you no longer have a keg in your house?
Whenever you are old enough to not be able to handle one beer.
I don't think you should have I don't think that you should have a keg in your house past the age of 27. You can't be 32 with a keg.
Why?
You just can't.
What if it was a keg of just straight bourbon?
Well, then you got
a barrel of bourbon.
I actually know somebody who bought a barrel of bourbon.
Oh.
It was like $2,000. I was like, what are you going to do with that?
Yeah, what did they do with that? Probably nothing.
Well, they still have it. It's like 20 years later.
Well, get them on the podcast. Let's see what they're doing with it.
Not the kind of person we have. The kind of person who buys a barrel of whiskey for themselves. Not the kind of person that I'm really associating with. I think they're criminal. I think that we also brought them up in a way in last episode when we talked about how many people we knew who went to prison.
That's fair. What's
your number 2?
So my number 2 is a kegger and a toga party.
Oh, it was? Did you already say that?
I did say it, but it's fine.
My number 2 is a rager. You know what you're getting into if you're going to a rager. Like, that's going to be good time, but you should probably leave a little early.
I just never understood, like, the term rager. Does that mean, like, we're going to get so effed up that we're going to just start kicking the crap out of each other?
No, or, like, rage. You're just going to rage in whatever form it happens. Like, you just rage, and you don't know which way it's going to go. Like, you rage, and it might be, like, a fun rage. It might be a little bit of a violent rage. That's why you got to leave early if it's going to be a rager. Like, you don't want to. You want to be in the. You want to be in the middle of people leaving. Like, you want to leave a little early.
All right. So my number one is I was gonna put rave as my number one, but I decided to take that off because I've actually only been to like 3 raves in my entire life, and they weren't that great. They were actually full of controversy and terribleness. So my number one, I'm gonna go with a blowout.
Ooh, okay. My number one is a hootenanny.
Of course it is.
What's wrong with a hootenanny?
Because no one even knows how to say that.
Oh, I don't know how to spell it, but I know a hootenanny's a good time.
That's like a blowout. Like if I'm like, hey, let's go and get fucking smashed tonight. Let's have a blowout. You know what's happening. You know what's happening.
I feel the same way about bash. Soiree. What other ones do you have? What's your honorable mention? I got a few. Soiree is a good one.
Soiree. I had bash on there. I also, nobody will know what this is, but that sounds really dumb. Pineapple foot. Come on, man. Let's get together and have a pineapple foot. Like I said, no one will get that one. Rave. I'll put rave officially on there. Yeah, that's kind of it.
A pineapple foot?
Pineapple foot. Let's get together and have a pineapple foot, man.
You know, a pineapple is the international symbol of swingers, right?
I do know that, and that kind of has to deal with some things. So,
you think your parents were swingers?